Hi, this is Dave Taylor, and today we're going to be putting a skin on the back of my new iPad, also known as the iPad 3. So we got a skin from a company called SkinIt, and they have lots and lots of really cool graphic designs. I'll flip this over. This is the reveal. Here's the design I had that I picked that I really like, and you can see it's attractive. Unfortunately, they come rolled. So the first thing you have to do is you actually have to flatten it. So I think we're reasonably flat. Second thing, or perhaps the first thing you really need, is an iPad. And this is an iPad 3, aka the new iPad, and ready to roll. But we're actually obviously going to be putting this on the back, so we're going to move this out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to put a little cloth down just because I'm a little paranoid about scratches, hence the putting this on in the first place. And the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to clean the back of our device. And to do this, I'm actually going to use a little spray bottle of OmniCleans. Now, if you actually go and you search for this, you'll find, well, it's kind of a screen cleaner, but it'll still get all the grease and oils off. So I'll just do one spray, and then I'll take my little cloth and clean it. And the key is for it to be dry when you're done, of course. And since my iPad is only, 2 days old, 3 days old, something like that, it should still be in pretty good shape. One hopes it doesn't get damaged that quickly. But really the important thing is to make sure it's dry. So that was good. We're probably going to want to take the cover off. So we'll take the cover off. Luckily, the iPad 2 covers work with the iPad 3, so that's good. We'll put that aside. And let's see, we just want to make sure that corner's clean. So there we go. The back is clean. That's step one. Now step two is we're going to bring this back into the picture, and if you look really closely you can see there's all sorts of cutouts on the edge. I'll show you here. You can see that there's little cutouts, so it's a pretty complicated cut that they have here. It's not just a straight square piece, and the thing you can use to orient yourself is, I'll pull this piece off, that goes there. So we'll put that there, and we're going to actually have to pull the entire sheet off, center it, and then place it on the iPad, and then we'll just go back and forth and get the air bubbles out. Now, like most of these companies, SkinIt includes a back and a frame for the front, and I'll tell you candidly, I don't put the front frames on because I like the black because it's very not distracting. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't distract me that way. So the front part we're actually never going to use. We're just going to leave it on this big sticker sheet, which is actually a 3M product, if you're interested. But the back, now we're ready. This is all clean and dry. And this is the scary part. So here we go. You ready? So I'm going to peel off the sticker. Please come off straight and square. And there we go. Luckily I've already pulled off, you can see the hole for the camera. And you see that? That's already pulled off, so that's handy. So now the trick obviously is to get it all to line up right. And in my experience, it's good to orient off the camera. And then, let's see, it looks like we're not quite right there. And then there's the bottom where the plug goes. So between those two things, that gives you a nice way to orient the whole thing. Let's see, not quite still. And it's not too anxiety provoking. Let's see. I think we're good there. Let's just gently curve it around and see how it's fitting against all the elements on the iPad itself. And as you can see, I'm starting from the center and doing down rather than just doing along the sides directly. It's a folding process, and it looks like we got it all lined up pretty well. It's curious, I don't know what they expected in the design, but if you look here, they've left space for a switch of some sort. I don't really know what that's about because there isn't a switch there. So maybe that's in the iPad 4. Maybe they have advanced information we don't. But I'm just going to go ahead and gently push this down and then run my finger along it, make sure it's all affixed properly. And if you've done it right, you'll notice that the sticker comes right up to the edge of the switches, and it's right on both sides of the speaker and everything, and it's not quite perfect. If you look, can you see there? I'll zoom in on this. You can see it's not quite centered on that, but I think we're okay. As long as we can still get to the plug, that's all that really matters. And there's a little bit of a process where I think the skin, the glue on it actually has to dry. But now if you can hear, there are some air bubbles that we have to work out. Fortunately, no therapists are involved in working out this particular problem. And once we get it all done, and we should be good. And as you can see, it's not a perfect job. In fact, you know, that top part's not so good. Let's redo that just a slight bit because I want to be able to get to the headphone jack. So let's pull this off. And maybe I can just do just this corner here. If you're looking at an angle, can you see that? There's still, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, there's a lot of air bubbles still. So we're still going to have to spend some time working on this. But in general, that's the process. It is a little tedious, it is a little frustrating, but once you get it done, then it's very nice because now, of course, I can put my protective cover on it. And so the front is protected from scratching and everything by this, and then the back is protected by this handy sticker. So easily done. If you have to go do it maybe once or twice, don't be too surprised, and you can cope. I'm sure you can make this work. And that's the process, and thanks to SkinIt for this very cool sticker. It definitely is going to help keep my iPad 3 looking really good. And I'm sure you can do the same, and you can have good results too. And this is Dave Taylor from Ask Dave Taylor. And hopefully we'll get this all worked out, and you too will have a great skin on the back of your iPad. Thanks, and see you later.